Hi guys, happy weekend. Let's just get straight into it. So this is the Harry and Meghan update, because heaven forbid they're never in the news. You would have already known about this news that Harry and Meghan are being evicted, or they've been served an eviction notice to leave Frogmore Cottage. So Frogmore Cottage is their British home. It is based in Windsor, so the Windsor estate. You'll know about Windsor Castle. That's where Meghan and Harry had their wedding, and they had their wedding reception at another Windsor estate. I believe it's Frogmore House or something. And so they lived in Frogmore Cottage when they were when they were working members of the royal family. So they kept that home. It is a large home, so don't get fooled by the word cottage. We know what the word cottage means, and this ain't no cottage, okay? So it was a gift by the Queen when they got married. Obviously, they don't own it. It's owned by the Crown because it's obviously not their property. It was just a gift in the sense that it's, you know, the Queen giving them permission to live there, but it's not their bloody home. Do you know what I mean? So they spent 2 point something million to renovate it because it obviously wasn't good enough. And then when they decided to leave the royal family, or leave as acting members of the royal family, they were, or they agreed to pay that money back. So they're paying it back. I don't know if it's paid back or they're paying it back, but whatever. And they pay rent on the property. They decided to keep the property as their England base, even though they left and relocated to California. There are many reasons why they may have wanted to keep it as their England base, even though they don't live here and even though they visit here, God, a couple of times a year, if that. There's many reasons. I mean, some people say it's the security because it's a property that has so much security. It's not accessible to the public. The grounds, the Windsor grounds and the Windsor estate is not accessible to the public. They have the protection of the royal protection that also all the other properties on the Windsor estate, including Windsor Castle, benefit from. So isn't that lovely? When they're there, they get the benefit of all this free security. So there's been some nonsense in the news. I don't know if it's true or not, that Harry apparently says it's the safest place he feels for him and his family. And obviously that's where Lilibet had her first birthday. And I think it's also where they had their engagement photo shoot, but whatever. And then there's other reasons people have said because he's a councillor of state. A councillor of state means that they are the top 5 adults, so over the age of 18, who are in line to the throne. So he's within that category, and they are councillors of state, meaning that they can act on behalf of the king when the king cannot act for being out of the country or unwell or whatever. So people say that, you know, he needs to be domiciled in the United Kingdom, and so therefore he has this property to say that he's domiciled here. I mean, I don't know the truth of that, but these are things I don't know the truth of that, but these are things that I've heard. So apparently they've now been provided an eviction notice to leave the property. Now, if anybody saw the Netflix documentary, they would see that there were clips of them actually packing up and moving out. So I don't know how much they've got left there, but okay, whatever. And then they're hardly ever here. So it's basically a vacated property, a grade 2 listed property, as you can see here. And so to me, it seems like a bit of a waste and a bit of a privilege and a bit of entitlement that it just remains open for them and their leisure. So I think it's good that they've been evicted. So it's like, okay, bye. You know, these are one of the privileges that you get of being a member of the royal family. See you later, bye. And I believe they were served with a formal eviction notice. I don't know if that's true or not, but that seems a bit strange. Because why wouldn't you just go as soon as you're told to go? Why would you need an eviction notice? I don't know. It's a bit weird. It's not like you're going to claim homelessness and get like council housing. It's really weird. I don't know why you would need something so documented, but I guess that may just be a rumor. But I understand from reading the articles, and as you can see, there are so many articles here, that actually the decision was made soon after the book Spare was released. I think the day after, or a couple of days after. So you see here, there are some articles talking about how this is cruel punishment. Some people say it's revenge. Some people say it's in response to Spare and the scathing revelations that Harry makes about Queen Camilla. And so as Charles is like, enough, you know, that's it. And apparently Spare was the last line. And some other people are saying, well, no, it's actually just, you know, inevitable. It's actually a part of the king exercising his power as king, not as father, and he needs to, or he wants to, scale down the monarchy. He wants to save public expense. He wants to be seen as a modern king and wants the royal family to be good for its money. So this is just a part of that process, and it's obvious to start where there are empty properties for people who are no longer working members of the royal family, are no longer in this country. So it's really weird. So, you know, that's obviously understandable where he would start. So my view is this. I've just had enough of these guys and the victim mentality. Let's be grown-ups here, right? You're almost 40, your wife's 40 plus. You're in America talking about how you love your life and you're so happy, showing everyone your massive mansion and living up some Montecito billionaire playground, and how you're never going to return to be a working member of the royal family, how you don't see a future having a role in the royal family. You're so happy, you're on your freedom flight, you know, you've gone to America, to California to live the life your mum should have lived, blah, 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 blah. Okay, good. Bye. Give us back our grade 2 property, our property in bloody 1801. You know, give that back to us. Thank you. Bye. Why is it such a big deal? Get over it. How dare you have a property for free that people can only dream of because you are a member of the royal family? And then you'd be so scathing about the member of the royal family and scathing about our country and people of this country and the media. And then you bugger off somewhere else. You come back 1 or 2 times a year and you want the benefit of this high level security, this free security that the royal family benefit from. And you just want to live on an estate. You want to live on a house in the estate just so that you can benefit from that security, so that you don't even have to pocket it. Because don't forget, you're taking the government to court because you want the right to pay for your own metropolitan police security. And you make this whole big deal that I'm paying for it. The tax people are not paying for it, even though we're paying for the court case on behalf of the government. And, you know, people don't really realize that, well, when you're living up in Frogmore Cottage every time you come to the UK, that's free security that's being paid for by us. So I'm sorry, mate. I don't think it's cruel punishment. I mean, for God's sake, they're not even living there. What's cruel punishment? I mean, seriously, do you know the rate of homelessness here? Do you know the rate of homelessness in California? What are you talking about, cruel punishment? Just leave it out. How insulting. How just ridiculous. How insulting to the people that are suffering and don't have a roof over their house. I walk through a tunnel almost every single day and there's homeless people lying in tents through a tunnel just to get warm and shelter. Are you having a laugh? Cruel punishment. Cruel punishment that they've been expelled to a £14 million house in a billionaire's row, Montecito, California, with sunshine most of the time of the year, and heaven forbid they can't live in a house that they never even bloody bought anyway. Oh God. Yeah, so some people are saying, well, it means that they're hardly going to ever come to the UK now. Oh, okay, so from 1 time or 2 times it's now 0. Oh, heaven forbid. And the only times they come anyways to bloody join these massive events that, you know, are worldwide reported, and that they can be seen constantly with their bloody outfits and her Dior outfit and all this bloody crap, so that they can just enhance their public profile and then have things to talk about. Oh please. And then the other time they come here is for their own charity work. Well, that's your own business. That's nothing to do with the royal family. So why should you have the benefit of living in Frogmore Cottage? If you're coming here for your own business and your own bloody charity, God knows how much you're being paid for to give speeches for these charities and represent these charities. So you're coming here for your own business incentive and also to enhance your brand. So why should you then live in a home that is a part of the royal estate when you're here to do work that's nothing to do with the royal family? Nah, mate, no. I think finally a robust move forward that is showing that our monarch, although he is Harry's father, he is a father to the nation, to the Commonwealth, and he's stepping up, putting duty first, and he's being our leader, our monarch, our head of state, and he did what a monarch should do and start streamlining the royal family and start cutting expenses and making decisions that are difficult, but that he must make for the benefit of the nation. So thank you very much, Charles. Moving on. So I had to talk about this because this is actually taking place today, Saturday. So Harry is actually doing a sit-down interview or conversation, whatever it is, with a trauma expert, a doctor, a physician here. He's a trauma expert and also an expert on other things like addiction. So they're doing a sit-down interview tonight. And they're going to be talking about his book Spare. I mean, when you thought that the publicity tour of his book Spare that came out in January, it's now March, when you thought that that was over, no. When you thought him making money on his book Spare and on disparaging the royal family was over, no. When you thought that him making money on his trauma and on his mother's memory was over, no. When you thought that he was going to be plugging the sale of his book, you thought that was over? No. When you thought that the look back projects, as opposed to the look forward projects, we were hearing on the news, their look back projects are now ended. They've said what they've wanted to say. They've put their truth out there. Now they can find peace because, according to Meghan, I can't find peace until there is truth. So once you thought that was over, they're not looking back anymore. No. Because somebody gave Harry the idea. Let's do a remote, not an in-person, but a remote interview, a conversation where you can earn more money and where we can promote your book even further and talk about trauma, victim, negative. Because in this day and age, when we are clearly in a recession and we've clearly come out of COVID, which affected every single human being on this earth, let's talk about sadness and sad things. Because heaven forbid, anybody needs uplifting and needs to see something good in the news. Nope. Let's talk about the trauma and sadness and negativity and loss. And not only that, but let's talk about the sadness, negativity, and loss of a royal prince. That's all what we want to hear. And at the same time, let's be forced to buy his book. So this talk, whatever, interview, whatever, it's obviously going to be about his book Spare and about his trauma. So apparently it costs about £19 or £14.99. I mean, I heard what it costs and I just completely bloody forgot, so I'm so sorry. But something like £14.99, and that's pounds to join, to get a ticket. And apparently in the US, it's something like $39.99. So I'm sorry, I'm not an accountant, I'm not a maths expert, but if you do a conversion rate, I think that the American public are getting swindled and fooled here. And frankly, I, as a British person, think that the American public have always been their target, have always been their audience. And so they've always tried to tailor their news and their narrative in America slightly different to the UK, because that is really their focus. So they've concentrated more on the race thing in America. They've concentrated more on the Diana trauma thing. And also they have clearly raised their prices for you to attend in America. I have no reason why. It's a remote bloody interview, so I have no reason why that's happening, but there we are. If you want to buy a ticket and you're in America, that's up to you. But I can tell you that in England, I believe it's about £14.99, or at its max £19.99, but I think it's actually £14.99. So apparently when you buy the ticket, you must also buy a copy of the book. So you can see here that this talk is actually to promote his new memoir Spare, although it was 2 months ago. But you actually have to buy a book. You have to buy his book when you buy the ticket. And then they send you a hard copy of the book, and you're not going to receive that before the talk. It's actually sent after the talk. So I don't really know what the purpose is, and I don't know why they don't send you an electronic version. That seems to be really weird. I think it means that they're trying to get rid of books, hard copy books. And it also means they are trying to earn more money off of you. I'm not going to attend this. I'm sure it will be widely reported. So good for you. I'm not spending money on this. What I think is interesting is, firstly, it's a remote interview. So it's a bit strange. Secondly, it's not going to be before a live audience, obviously, or filmed before a live audience, which is weird. Apparently the audience can submit questions. That's nice. But those questions need to be submitted beforehand, and then they will be vetted. Okay. Seems a bit odd. Seems a bit odd that he just won't answer live questions from members of the public. Anyway, I'm sure that this will be interesting. In my view, it is just Prince Harry finding another way to earn money, and I just think that this is a bit of a money grab. I don't know this expert, but I really hope that he probes Harry. I really hope he's not just an Oprah Winfrey yes man, that he's just not going to sit there and just be like, yes, yes, yes. But in my opinion, it is very likely that he will be a yes man and will be very sympathetic and empathetic, because Harry and Meghan seem to choose people to interview them and talk to them, or write about them, who are in their favour and are very yes man, and put forward a very sympathetic narrative. Apart from the lady who did the cut, or did the cut article, who I absolutely love. But there we are. So yeah, I mean, good luck. I'm just sick of this. This is just ridiculous. It's the same thing again and again and again. So congratulations, Harry and Meghan. You found great PR, great agents, obviously out there to earn you as much money as you can, regardless of your integrity and your reputation. So great. Good for you. Clap, clap. So comment, actually, if any of you have seen this or are going to see this or have submitted any questions. I'd really like to know what you're asking. And yeah, if you watch it, let me know how it went. So moving on. Lovely Harry and Meghan were ambushed by the paparazzi, allegedly. And they were on a date night. I find it really odd that they always want us to know about their date nights, and that they are always ambushed by the paparazzi on their date nights, that there's always photographers everywhere. And I might actually do a video on this just to show you what I mean, because it's just really bizarre. So just moving to this article, because this is them on their date night. We look at all these people, the paparazzi just get them at the right moment. And then look at this. Look at this. Ambushed by the paparazzi. I mean, look at the security, President of the United States here. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Hello? Why? Oh my God, I'm sorry. There are other photos of her being ambushed, in quotation marks, by the paparazzi, and she's just constantly smiling. All those pictures of her going around a car, going to the other side where a camera can get her rather than coming from the roadside, so that the camera would see her, and there's pictures of her looking at the camera. I mean, it's just weird. I don't believe this nonsense. And look, you can see here clips of the paparazzi. Look, clip, 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 clip. And you constantly see that when they're on date nights. And I do not believe this. I'm sorry, I do not believe this. I thought that the paparazzi don't hound you unless they are tipped as to where you're going to be. So the question is, who is tipping them as to where this couple is going to be? I thought they have a very tight network. Or the person who is being pictured goes to particular areas or particular venues where paparazzi are always at. So I learned that from Kim Kardashian. So either way, I don't believe that this was spontaneous, okay? And I think this is the second time or third time that I've seen paparazzi shots of them going on date nights, and she's just laughing, smiling, looking at the camera, and just very happy. And this is odd, because I thought Harry was saying that every time he sees the click of a camera, it brings him back to his childhood trauma of the loss of his mother. Interesting, isn't it? Interesting. Look at the smile on his face. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I mean, you know what? If you guys want this life, and I'm sure it's a very fast-moving, glamorous, exciting, wealthy life, I'm sure it is. And if you guys want this life in Hollywood, blah, 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 getting snapped by the paparazzi, going to fancy restaurants in California like all the other celebrities, good for you. Good for you. And if you're happy, good for you, and I'm happy for you. But don't then say Oh, I'm so traumatized by the click of a camera. Oh, we just want private life. Oh, the paparazzi are ambushing us. Oh, I'm so fearful for my safety and security. We just want to be private. The media is so intrusive. They follow us. Oh, the guy on the motorbike is following us. Get over yourselves, okay? Get over yourselves. Frankly, this has obviously just come out because we haven't seen them for a while. We haven't seen them together for a while. Since I think even before the Netflix documentary, we haven't actually seen them in public for a while. But this obviously has come out just after the news has come out that they have been evicted from Frogmore. So great, congratulations again to Harry and Meghan's PR distraction and showing how united they are. Moving on. So Harry and Meghan, their popularity in the United States has plummeted, and that is actually very important. It's plummeted since the Netflix documentary and the book Spare. And it's very important because, as I said, the USA, all you lovely, wonderful, intelligent people, are their target audience because that's where the money is, that's where the showbiz is. Just to say, this is all my own opinion. Please form your own opinion. Their popularity has plummeted. Not surprising. I think the popularity of other various members of the royal family has also dropped since Spare and the Netflix documentary. But Harry and Meghan's has dropped the lowest. Why I've brought this article up is because it is so savage that their popularity in the United States has allegedly dropped lower than Prince Andrew's popularity. Now, that is so savage. Bearing in mind, the controversy around Prince Andrew is so savage. Some people have tried to make excuses and say, oh, well, maybe it's because Americans don't really know Prince Andrew. I doubt that very much because Americans are very intelligent and they do watch the news and they know about Jeffrey Epstein. They know about his connection. Jeffrey Epstein was American. They know about the court case that Virginia Giuffre tried to put against Prince Andrew, and that was all in America. So, you know, please. So, okay. That is savage. I'm sorry, it's savage. For me, I mean, this is a particular achievement to become less popular than Prince Andrew. Wow. So for me, I think this just shows that if you stay quiet, if you never explain, never complain, then it actually works for you. It actually works for you. But when you're out there in everyone's face, plastering your narrative and your victimhood and also earning money and propaganda and PR and manipulating the press and yeah. Yeah. You know, your popularity plummets, and Prince Andrew has clearly been quiet, and he clearly does not speak in any scathing or disparaging way against the royal family, against his own family, which, you know, the concept of family, despite what people might think about the modern generation, the concept of family is still very strong on all spectrums of the political sphere. In most people's minds, the concept of family and loyalty is very, very strong. And so what they've done is essentially turned against their family and earned money off of it, and then yet still bask in the privilege of it. So Prince Andrew has done the opposite. So yeah. And obviously when he did that interview on TV, so Prince Andrew, I don't know if you know, he did an interview, as I understand it, just before Virginia Giuffre filed her lawsuit against him, and he spoke about the allegations against him and his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein, and it went down so badly. And I think it would have done him a favor not to do that interview. So clearly, again, it shows just don't speak. So yeah, sorry, Harry and Meghan, but you know, this comes with the territory. You thought, I'm going to leave Britain and I'm going to, you know, say my narrative, which is that it was the press and it was racism and it was the Brexiteers and it was the nasty royal family, and then I'm going to go and seek refuge in the United States, and then now your popularity is also plummeting because of your actions and behavior. So what are the excuses that you're going to make now about the American people? Because I would say it was because of your behaviour as to why your popularity plummeted in the United Kingdom. As well as, I'll give you credit, there were some, very scathing things about you in the press and so forth that may be largely unfair. But there we are. So, yeah, what are you going to say now about the US? What are you going to say about how your popularity has plummeted? What are you going to say? I'd like to hear it. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed the update. Thank you so much, guys. Please subscribe to my channel. Please, please, please. I know that there are a number of you guys that view, but you don't subscribe, and that breaks my heart because, subscriptions obviously help your channel grow and it helps your channel last. So please do show support and subscribe to my channel and press the like button and also the bell button, because apparently that will alert you as to when I upload new videos. I mean, I don't really know how that works. I'm not very technical, so apologies. But thank you guys so much for your support, and thank you guys for listening to this video. Thank you. Have a great weekend. Bye.